Good afternoon and welcome you all to this teleconferencing session. In this session, we will discuss about BNS 011, that is Principles and Practices of Nursing Administration. In this session, we will focus on Block 1, that is on Principles of Nursing and Public Administration. The topic for presentation is Concepts, Philosophy, Purpose and Scope of Nursing and Public Administration. To discuss this session, we have Ms. Santhama Karine from St. Stephen Hospital and School of Nursing, and Rita Devi from School of Health Sciences, who is lecturer in School of Health Sciences. They will be discussing about the principles and practices of nursing administration. Before we discuss about the topic, I would request all the regional centers to send us the attendance and also ask certain queries from the students if they have any. I would request Rita, see, we all know that in order to achieve the objectives of goals and organization, we need to have effective system of administration and management in place. And what exactly are these terms? Public administration, administration and management.
Thank you, Madam Pittikor. I will start the topic with the, we can have slide, sorry. The administration and management. To start with introduction, the slide please. The organizational goals and objectives require administration and management. Nursing administration is everywhere, or you can say administration, it is everywhere, whether it is home, neighbors, rural area, health centers. If there is no administration, work cannot be done. So the nurses have the major responsibilities of providing all the care that a client needs. The quality of nursing services depends upon the effective use of the available resources, whether it is nursing or man, material or money. So, next slide. To make you a better, more effective and happier nurse administrator, you should take into account, like you all are in diploma in nursing administration, some of you might be getting the characteristic of administration by virtue of your seniority. Some have inborn qualities or traits to become an administrator, and you all are professionals. You have professional abilities as well as you are undergoing a training to become an administrator. So whatever be your background, you can improve and become a more effective administrator. So you can develop various skills by virtue of training and practicals. So now I'll come with the definition of the administration. Before I discuss the definition, the word meaning of administer is, it is a Latin word having ad plus minister. This means to take care or look after people. Administration, if we see the definition, it is a process of collective and cooperative efforts directed towards the realization of consciously laid down goals and objectives by any organization. And the management, on the other side, is a process by which the cooperative group direct action towards achievement of the goal. That means in the management we have to see how the work will be done at the first level of management. At the same time, if we see the significance of the administration, administration is selection, provision and employment of resources for a desirable purpose. Nursing administration is a coordinated system of activities which provide total nursing care to the patient. So if we see the scope of administration and management, it is very vast. That means you have to have administration in each wherever human being lives, the administration follows, and if there is no administration, it will be difficult to carry out the task and to achieve the desired objectives. Then comes the public administration. The public administration is, if we see the nursing administration, so nursing administration is part of the public administration only. So public administration is defined as organization and management of human and material resources to fulfill the objective laid down by the government. So the public administration is, if we take the term, it is in the government organizations we use the word public administration. If we see the hospital side, then nursing administration we use for the nursing activities or the nursing service departments. And
then comes the management. What is the, what do you mean by management?
Yeah, if you see the management, like in the management how the work will be carried out. Like if we see management, then we are dealing with executive functions, like how the functional aspect will be carried out at the first level or middle level of management. We all, like the staff nurses, if we see, or you students of DNA, you are coming in first level of management. That means you are executing the functions. The planning is done at the top level and you are there to execute the plan.
Basically,
that means management.
Basically you mean to say that administration is the art of getting the things done, or it is an enabling process to achieve the organization objective. And management is the processes by which all the efforts are put together to achieve the goal.
Objective, and it is the operative part. That means you are actually functioning. But how you are functioning because of administration, because your nursing superintendent, she has laid down your job responsibilities. Okay, she has planned what you have to do, and you are there to do it, to carry out that order, is the management. So administration is at one side, that means top level we use administration, and in the middle and first level we use management.
But sometimes these words are, the administration and management is used synonymously.
Yeah.
How it is used synonymously?
Yeah, if we see administration or management, we can say they are synonym or they are resembling to each other, because both of them are processes. They are ongoing processes. Like you can't say today you have managed something and tomorrow there is no need. You can't say that, because in administration and management you have to have ongoing process. So both are synonym to each other. Both are having desirable end. And in administration also you have to reach some goal, and in management also you have to reach the desired end. So they are used synonym to each other. And the other thing is, but the difference comes is it is used at the top level. Administration is used at top level, like chief nursing officer or medical superintendent of the hospital. They are actually thinking, they are more using thinking skills, because they are planning everything.
And at the operative level there may be nursing supervisors and assistant nursing superintendents.
Ward sisters are there.
Ward sisters will be there.
They are
will be
middle level,
executing the functions of
which are laid down by the nursing superintendent. So, but both of them are synonym to each other, because both of them are processes and both are having desired end to be achieved. So you can say they are synonymously used, administration and management. If Madam.
Miss, do you want to add something to what Rita said? Okay. She has already said that administration is the enabling process to achieve the goals and objectives of an organization. But in order to achieve the goals and objectives of organization, we need to have some philosophy, which are nothing but the beliefs and values of a particular institution on which their goals and objectives are based. So would you be able to tell what are the different features of philosophy of nursing administration?
So the concept of philosophy of nursing administration, if you are taking a nursing administration, that means it is the involvement or implementation of policy. Every hospital, if any of the hospital, they will having a different types of policies are there. They are for making these policies, we are having selected persons are there, representatives mostly from the nursing side as well as the health will be there. Besides that, for making a framework of the policy, we are in need of lawmakers also, where we are involving the lawmakers also for doing one. But in the case of if you are doing into the nursing administration of policy, the main aim of our nursing administration is to attract and to retain the, we can say, the competent professional nurses in each of the hospital. For example, if you are taking of each of the hospital, the people will evaluate the feedback that excellent nursing care is there. So our main aim of our overall purpose of nursing service is to say that we are giving an excellent care for the patient, and so that, and also by we are giving a good service administration to the people who are working there also, is attracting, and it will attract the staff to retain, and also it will give an emotional attachment to the institute, and also that give a sincerity of the work which is done for the patients. So the primary function, if you are taking of the nursing department, is what? Nursing service. That is should be the excellent one. So which including, that means the direct nursing care provided by the nursing service personnel, and also it is including, that means the activities like administrative details which involve caring for the client which is admitted. Now we have to come to the philosophy of nursing service administration. In the case of this one, that means philosophy of nursing service administration is made up by the benefit, or you can say values, or directly influence the professional practice. So there are some certain underlying, can say, philosophies are there in the case of nursing service administration. The first one is of interrelated. That means when we are doing a nursing administration or some people, there are so many people are there, from the nursing, chief nursing officer, nursing superintendent, DNS, and below that so many people will be involving in that one. So we should have a constant, who may be looking at the administration, they should have a constant and careful attention is to be given to interrelated the factors like we need a quality care, and the quantity of this one, and then the time which is spent for each patient, or the care which is to be done, and the cost of work. That also we have to see. The philosophy should also involve, can we able to spend this much money, the cost of work, and the available resource. That is a very important thing. When we are planning to do something, we have to first see the resources. Is it available? If I plan something and if the available resources are not there, I cannot able to implement it, and planning will not be successful. And in such cases, available resource necessary to reach the objective of organization. Each organization is having their own goals are there, their own objectives are there, and these goals are fulfilled for the organization, not by one person. It is done by all the employees who are working in that particular organization. And another one is of factual evidence. It is also very important in the case of philosophy, that can say factual evidence in evolution, or you can say control of work plans, also to avoid what? The wastage of what? Wastage of resources. So we should have a factual evidence should be there, so that we can say that even if it can be implemented in the case of a local, or it can be in a national level, or it can be an international level also. But we should see that if I am having this much resources is there, I should utilize what the resources I have got it, and there should not be any wastage of that particular resources which is provided for us. And another one is philosophy, can have a delegation of responsibility. That is very important in each profession. If the nursing superintendent is the one who is the main part of that, and she is contributing, or she is delegating the responsibilities to different peoples, that placing the responsibility for the decision at the lowest possible organizational level helps it to maintain a proper decision. So that is the another important delegation of a responsibility to be there. And another one of this one is of individual and organizational goal. I had told you in the case of, there is an individual goal is also there. If I am working in an institute, I have my own individual goal also is there. Is there anybody working without that one? Everybody is having their own individual goals. But main thing is that to attain the goal of the organization. So my individual goal is also related to the goal of the organization, so that it will be achieved. So individual and organization goal is also very important, that the major thrust of nursing service administration is to achieve both individual as well as the organizational goal by financial and other staff welfare activities. And we have to see the financial as well as the welfare of the staff who are working there also. If we are not looking into the welfare of the staff, and they say that the turnover of the staff will also be there more, because we are not getting that much facilities. That means things are not there, or the welfare of activities of the employees are not looked after. So it is the responsibility of the nursing administrator to look into the welfare of the staff who is working under that. Then effective communication. Sometimes it is lacking in our profession also. The proper communication is very important. Proper communication, that the proper flow of communication is needed from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top also. Otherwise, if we are not, for example, I can give an example. When you are taking over in the night, that means morning hour, if you are not able to give a proper communication to the person who is taking over, for some of half of the investigations has not been done, half of the work which is done for the client is not told to the second person who are taking over. That means a communication gap is there. It will result into it will affect the total care which is to be given for the patient. And otherwise also we can say that nowadays we can say we can able to do the communication different ways, by telephone, and nowadays the SMS are also there, computers are also there. We are in the modern times also. When we are having the modern technique also, we are utilizing that one also to what is the purpose of utilizing this? To say the time also.
And communication can be at various levels.
At various levels also.
Horizontal level,
yes,
vertical
yes,
level, lateral level.
Yes, ma'am. So that it will also help us to bring up the effective care. And another thing is flexibility. If we are not having the flexibility, that means flexibility is also very important. In that means to attain the that means goal of the organization. If we are fixing into one of the rules and regulations, if we want to attain a certain other goals, we may have to change the rules also. So there should be a flexibility. We cannot able to be say that this is the one we have to. According to circumstances, according to the need of the goal of the organization, we may have to change this rule. So that means this flexibility also is included
need
in the
of the organization
philosophy.
And need of the society also, depending
Yes,
upon the
ma'am.
need
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
society,
Yes,
patients,
Yes,
patient care
Yes,
needs.
ma'am.
We need to be flexible in framing out the policy.
Yes, ma'am. So in the case that covers the can say features of philosophy in nursing administration, ma'am.
Can you give us some of the statements of the philosophy?
If you are coming to the statements of philosophy, we can able to say that administer the safe and high quality. That is one of the important thing. We have to give a very high quality care. That is our main aim, and effective care to the clients, or can say to the family or to the community. It can be either to the family. The patients are coming to the hospital with sometimes to the family, and sometimes we are going to the community areas also. So we should be known and provide an environment for promotion and maintenance of health of all individuals. That is one of the things which we have already discussed earlier, the welfare activities. And then another comes the maintain an environment motivating the development of nurses. That is very important. In our nursing profession, we should always motivate the young generations to go for higher educations, and in-service education is also needed. For each hospital, in our hospital we are having the nursing superintendent is conducting so many in-service education. Her main aim is to bring out the knowledge which is there, the latest also, so that it will improve the quality of nursing care. And then deliver high quality patient care services that can be provided by the coordination of a team. It is a teamwork. We are not able to maintain the efficiency in nursing care without one team. It is a team of work. Who all are involved? The nurses are involved, the doctors are also involved, different departments are also, the pharmacy is involved, the lab is involved. So all these departments are also involved in to bring up the efficient, or can say better quality nursing care.
See, we have just said that the basic unit of nursing service administration is the nursing departments. And what are the objectives of these nursing departments? Because the nursing administration works within the framework of the nursing department. So what are the objectives of these nursing departments?
Yeah, based on the philosophy laid down for the nursing service administration, contributing, there are 5 objectives which are laid down. The objectives for the delivery of the client care, which has been discussed, like patient care is the main goal of the organization. establishment of the physical environment. Like patient should be provided minimum infrastructure, like the bed of the patient. If we see, sometimes they are just broken. In that condition, which patient is not able to have comfortable position even, or sometimes the patient need after post operation, the patient need post operative bed, but the bed is not available. So we have to provide basic infrastructure to the patient. Then establishment of the conceptual environment. Patient needs calm and quiet environment according to his illness, because he is sick there. He does not require noise pollution or the environment which is full of infection. So we have to see that also. Achievement of individual objective. Like patient has come to the hospital for his cure, and if he acquires some other infection there, so that means his individual objective has not been achieved. So we have to see to that patient has to be taken care of according to his individual objective. And the last of this is the contributory individual objective. That means patient is also participating, like we nurses are giving care to the patient. At the same time, it is not that we are taking assistance of the patient also in improving his health. Because some of the patients who are bedridden, we have to give total care. But some patient does not require that total care. They just need the assistance. So we have to see what type of care is required for which kind of patient, and accordingly it should be given. Unnecessarily, we should not indulge in so many activities which are not required. If patient can move, he can go for mouthwash and come back to the bed. So no need for mouth care to such patients. So you know all these practical aspects of this. So these are the 5 objectives, and again some more objectives are also there of the Nursing Service Administration to render high quality of nursing care, which has been discussed, in which the not only physical but psychological, spiritual and social needs of the client are also to be kept in mind. That will fulfill the objective of high quality nursing care. Clear? Then to carry out the therapeutic measures, you are carrying out the prescription given by the doctors and you are giving the medicines, but these medicines are to be given in time. We have to keep in mind with intelligent application. This means that you have to see whether this medicine is required or not. Sometime by mistake also medicine has been prescribed, but you can recheck it whether the dose is right or whether this medicine should be given to this particular patient or not. Sometimes treatment charts get, 2 patients having same name and treatment is different for both. So you have to intelligently administer therapeutic prescribed order. Then to make studies related to the nursing care and the nursing services in order to improve the quality of nursing and the effective utilization of the personnel. This is again part of nursing care, in which you are again improving the quality of nursing services. To formulate and recommend policies for the improvement of care of the client. Like if you see in the ward that lot of relatives are coming and the patient is getting disturbed, not only that patient but the whole unit is getting disturbed because of the so much of crowd. So you can see the policies and be strict enough that visiting hours should be followed. When the visiting hours are there, then only patient's relative can come in the ward, and rest of the time patient also need rest. So you have to see the policies for that. Then to cooperate with all the departments of the hospital. The patient is not only in need of nursing care. Patient is in need of his total care. For that he may be requiring help from other departments like radiology department, nutrition department, lab department. So you have to coordinate with everybody. Or some patient needs even counseling even if he is in the medical ward. So accordingly you have to coordinate with other departments for the care of the patient. And to participate in all the programs of education and research, as Madam has told, that in-service education is very important even for the nurses, because they have to improve their the education and the research activities for the future use. To support and promote hospital policies and regulations. You know you are working in which organization, that particular organization has its own policies, and if you will follow those policies, then only you can, that means you are helping in achieving the goal of the organization. To foster and maintain good relations. Human relations, as you might be having classes on that, so it is very important that you have to maintain interpersonal relationship with the patient, his relatives, not only with patient and relative but also with the other team of your health care. To promote good personal policies, again it is repetition that you have to see the policies and accordingly you have to give the care. To participate in overall planning for meeting the total need, again keep in mind the need of the patient and participate, whether in the form of group discussion or among staff nurses, you can discuss various points which needs to be taken care of. To employ sufficient nursing personnel to give safe, adequate and satisfying care throughout 24 hours. That patient is in need of your care for 24 hours. That means you are on duty in the morning, evening or night shift. And there is again strong supervision, competent supervision should be there. You know that in the morning shift also there is nursing supervisor, evening duty the evening supervisor is also there, and in the night also there is night supervisors are there under which you are carrying out all the activities. To maintain and develop good standards for developing learning skills of students. Not only the staff nurses has to develop the skills, but students, nursing students are also working under you. So you can check them also, you can guide them also and help in improving their technical skills. So these are all the objectives of the nursing service administration. Again, there are some of the purposes of nursing administration. The main purpose of the administration is to facilitate or help the functioning within an organization and maintain a high standard of performance.
Madam, can you tell us what are the purposes of nursing administration?
In the case we had again coming to the main points, the main purpose of administration is to facilitate or to, we can say, to help the organization or to operate the functions of the organization and to attain a smooth, or can say the quality care. So quality care is needed for a smooth running of any organization. If the quality care is not good, people won't come. The client will not come to our hospitals. They will say that the nursing care or whatever may be there is not up to the mark. So we can say in the case of this one, when you take a feedback from the patients, we can able to know which are the weak points in our own quality care. So it is the main purpose of nursing administration is that. So that's why the nursing superintendent is there, the ward in charge is there in your ward. If anything is, that's why the ward in charge also is giving a division of the work to you. For what purpose? To maintain a quality care, so that the workload should not be more, so that the patient care should be given individual care, or sometimes we may need a barrier nursing care also. So that is one of the aim of that one. Another thing of this one is that to aim is for a quality care for which the administrative and operative functions should be generated towards for the smooth running of, that's again repetition, for the smooth running of the organization we need a quality nursing care. So nursing care. So in the case of the nursing manager is in order to maintain, I can say, to give a good atmosphere for the workers, or work atmosphere should be to see that she facilitate with all necessary arrangements, services to her, the person achieving and also the organization as well as the professional objectives to be maintained by the, to be given to the people who are working by the administrator. So these are the purposes of administration.
Basically the whole purpose is to provide the quality patient care. Whatever the policies, plans and formulations you prepare, and whatever the frameworks you work, it is only the patient care. And the nurses have been working in variety of settings.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, not early in the fixed earlier times, the traditional settings were there, but nowadays the nurses are working in variety of settings. So what is the extent of the scope of nursing service administration?
You see that the nursing administration is a part of health administration. We are also a part of health administration. So you can able to see that when you are coming to the nursing administration, covers the actual conduct of nursing care activities related to the client care. That is the main thing. It is also the client care is there, then the training is there. Some of the organization you can see the hospital is also having the training centers are also there. So we are also making the students into, as madam has told, also not only the staff nurses, but we have to also to bring the students also into the level where they can also contribute to the best quality nursing care. We have to bring them up to that one. So development of students is there, and another thing is that to maintain a quality care we need a manpower. The scope of manpower is also needed. Without manpower, that I had told you, if I am having 50 patients or 2 nurses are only there, I cannot able to give a quality nursing care. So manpower is there. Affairs related to the planning and improvement of the nursing service, it will depend upon the planning. So when I am planning something, all this means I should see the manpower or the resources which I am having. I get to plan and implement it according to that. For example, in the case of an Institute of Nursing Education, I can say are covered or governed by some organization also. For example, in Delhi, the Delhi Nursing Council is the organization which is controlling the nursing students examinations, the rules and regulations, the policies sometimes they are giving. So we are following all those things in order to maintain or to bring out an excellent students which can able to contribute. So our scope of this one of in running an institute is to what to bring out the efficient, excellent nursing staff to bring out so that they can able to contribute a very quality care so that the smooth running of the organization will be there. That is why the aim or the scope why we are having an institute in this one. And then you are coming to the nursing administration also has scope within the international level also. Can you able to give an example? WHO, World Health Organization is there, and in our India itself we are having the Trained Nurses Association is there. So these are also the organization are providing a scope for us. So they are also helping us to, our main scope is to maintain the quality nursing care and to have a better staff with full qualifications and full efficiencies is there. So they are also helping us to the health organization, World Health Organization at the international level, and the TNA you can see that. So National League for all the organizations are there. So their aim is also, scope is also the same thing for the smooth running of the organization. So they are also helping us to bring up this scope.
And Rita, would you like to add something in scope?
One point is, like Madam has already told regarding international. At national level we have Indian Nursing Council, and at international level International Nursing Council for Nurses is also there, and another international level American Nursing Association is also there. So they are also contributing towards the, they are brilliantly producing a good nursing administrator, and nursing administrator. There is one more after the nursing administrator, the quality assurance officers. They are also nursing personnel who are maintaining quality care in the field of hospital setup. So
there are different organizations also, not only the trained nursing organizations, there are specialist nursing organizations also where the nurses have the scope of taking into account the quality patient care and taking the patient care needs into consideration. And
even at the students level also.
Yes,
Student Nursing Association is also there. You might be aware of that. Okay, so starting from the student level up to the top level. So there are so many associations who are involved in giving the quality nursing care.
Can we go to principles of, just within 5 minutes you have to complete the unit. We can talk about the elements of, you can just start with the elements of nursing administration.
Yeah, elements or the functions of the administration. So if we see the functions of the administration, we have to remember one thing, that is, if you see the slide, that there is post corp. Always remember this POSDCRB. This means planning, P for planning, O is organizing, S for staffing, D directing, C is coordinating, R reporting, and B is for budgeting. Always remember, it will be very easy for you to give answer if you remember this post code. Okay, these are the, you can say, elements or the functions of administration. How we, in the previous unit we saw what is the definition of administration, and if the administration is there, then how it will be easy for the organization to function. So how we can carry out these administrative functions? It is through the planning. So if we see in the planning, planning is the first step or the function of any organization. Until unless there is planning, you cannot carry out anything. Even at the home, we have to plan so many things, then only work will be done. Same way for the organization. So I think
Miss Santhama, as already she has said, one of the most important functions of the nursing administration is the planning. So what is planning is just a forecasting, or it's a future course of action taken. What are the important characteristics of planning?
If you are coming to the characteristics, I had told you that before taking a planning, we should know what are the resources we are having it, what are the things we are having it. So planning should be based on a clearly defined objective. If I am not having an objective, I should not make any plan without an objective. When you are writing anything, the lesson plan or whatever maybe you are doing, you will first write what? The objective. What is your main objective? When I am taking a class also, the main thing of the planning of the class, I will say the objective. So in the same way, for a plan should be based on a clearly based objective. And otherwise we cannot able to attain the goal of that one. And another one is therefore the objectives needed to be communicated to all members. Therefore a planning for implementing, we cannot able to for one, we can able to, what in charge can able to run the hospital alone. No, all the staff who are working in that department is needed for running the hospital or running the department in a smooth way. So if I am planning, I have an objective, I should share my objective to the other members of the people who are involved in that particular plan for implementation. And plan should be a symbol. It should be a very simple one and understanding to everybody and free from any type of complications which lead to the wastage of what? Wastage of resources. In the beginning I told you, I should know the way the resources what are there. Whatever resources is there, I should know how to utilize that resources. There should be any wastage of resources should not be there. So wastage of resources, a simple plan leads to success and achievement is laid down on the objectives. And another thing is of the characteristic of the plan should be based on the process of investigation of activities of various nursing members, so as to standardize to assess the quality as well as the quantity care which is given for the patient. That is one of the important thing. And I had told you in the beginning also, it should be flexible. It should be flexible. Plan should be flexible to adapt to different emergencies. I may have different, when I plan something, I may not be able to run into the same way which I had planned. Sometimes I may have to change the plan. Flexibility is needed. No, I will say that, no, I want this one or I want to run like this. Can be able to do it. When the emergencies comes, according to that, that's why always telling the administrator also should be having the flexible attitude, so that we can run it. So plan should be flexible to adapt or can say to different emergencies and changing situations. And plan should be balanced so that it can be operated effectively within the total purpose of the which team? Health. For the purpose of the health agency. We are doing all those things for whom? We belongs to what? The health. So this is it should be like that. Plan should be realistic. That is very important. When I am planning something, it should be of what? Realistic. And I know the resources is there. What are the resources I can be able to do it? Get it through that. And based on the, we can say the real fact. I have to select for when you are doing a research, we will take a problem which is of that means the real fact is there. Then only we can able to do it in a successful way. So these are the characteristics of a good plan when we are making a plan for these things.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice presentation. We have finished this presentation for today. I think we will have a 5 minutes break and then we'll come again for studying Unit 3 of this Principles and Practices of Administration. Thank you very much for your nice presentation, and I think students must have benefited from the presentation which they have given. We have not received any questions from the regional centers. If they have any questions, they can send the questions. I think there are no questions. You have made it so clear that they have no questions to ask.